Greetings, guys. Hello, good evening. Curious to see if I can paint with my... there's a place I can put my magnifying glass. I feel like I paint a lot better with this thing. Doesn't sound too healthy. You see. Highland, good evening. It's morning for you, Terrence. Hello, good morning then. Maybe take the shirt off now, actually, because it always gets so fucking hot in this room when I'm have all these extra lights on. Ugh. I saw that the new boarding party rules were released, or discussed. I was like 50-50 if I was going to make this stream about boarding party. Decided not to, so that... Let's see. Can I do this? Maybe? Maybe the painting handle's too much. Needs to be a bit lower. As low as it will go, maybe. Yeah, I can paint through this thing, maybe. You guys aren't going to see very much detail from way up there, but I'll point it at the... I'll point the camera at it now and again. Yeah, no problem, Highland. I was messing with you on New Year's when you were a little bit late. I wasn't being serious. Yeah, this thing needs a battery fill. 1 second. You got my handy C3PO cushion to lean on. Oh. How's everyone's day been? Good? I've been trying to build my next list. The tournament I'm going to is on the 14th, which is kind of funny. So the tournament's literally going to be on the day that like the new chapter approved comes out. So I assume the tournament's going to use the old rules. It's really annoying. It's not like a week later. It is what it is, though. Alright, move this on the light a little bit. The arm may be broken, but like it's doing a million times better. The set is way overpriced, says Terrence. The train does seem like it's going to be quite expensive. Alright, I'm going to go start with Celestia Grey tonight. I'll give these guys a little bit of contrast. My pot of Celestia Grey is pretty old, so I've got a new one. But yeah, so maybe tomorrow, if I get half an hour, I'm going to film a video on like the new boarding party detachments and stuff. Look at this. I was going to say, look at the state of this pot. Oh, these old GW colours. I think shaking it is pointless. I don't think shaking it is actually moving the paint around. It's so solid in the bottom down there. Alright, I'll just put a bunch of it on the palette and then within it and mix it and hopefully it'll be fine. Yeah, that's enough. Hey, Dirty Wizard! Welcome, company veteran. Thank you so much, brother. How you doing? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody, by the way. The last couple of days have kind of been a blur. I wasn't actually too hungover in the first, but then time's just been getting away from me. It always happens on holidays, especially with young children. You spend the day building Duplo or making Lego trains, so... Hey, good evening, Gav. Get those Death Company painted chop chop. I'm trying, Gav. I mean, it's fucking hard with a broken arm. I mean, I've got movement in my wrist, but I've barely got any movement. Like the elbow kind of needs to just stay right at my waist, and I can't really move from there. So, I mean, there's 3 colors on these Death Company. So technically, that's fine, right? but it's still very difficult. But anyway, good evening, folks. So yeah, Boarding Party released some boarding party rules today. I did have a glance at them. I did look at the detachment for it. Basically, you're not going to be able to take anything that can fly as a vehicle. So like, that might actually be the one game mode that Blood Angels use Death Company without jump packs in, because it just said, like, I imagine that kind of means that Blood Angels can't really take any of their named characters either. I guess you could take Mephiston because he doesn't have a jump pack. The music a little bit louder, is it alright? I honestly have zero accuracy in my painting right now because of this. So it's like get base colours on and then have to go back with black and just go round everything I painted to bring it back to black because it's messy as fuck. So it's quite frustrating, but I really do want to use these Death Company models at this event that we've got coming up on the 14th, so they're definitely going to have enough colours on them to be event worthy. They're gonna be the worst painted models I've ever painted, and they're gonna need so much tidying up, but that's fine. Tycho. Yeah, I mean, I guess Tycho, apart from the fact that he's dead, apart from that fact, yeah, he'd be good in boarding actions, right? I think I'm gonna run Terminators in boarding actions. I mean, Centurions might be good in boarding actions as well. I'm not sure they said on the article how many points you actually get in boarding actions. I feel like it's like 500 you're gonna get. But not much more than that, I think. I really like how they said that they aren't changing the rules, though it's the same rules as 40k. Highland Phoenix, Happy New Year. 1 more month for 2 years of membership. New detachment thoughts. I did a video yesterday, Highland Phoenix, where I spoke about the Arcs of Omen detachment. Did you watch it? It was in the mid. The music is intense. Some new royalty-free music. It's a change from the other soundtrack that I've had for a long time. Aggressors would probably be good as well, yeah. Terminators with storm shields would be good. Yeah, it said no jump packs. That was what it said in the rules. I guess I'll go over it, all the rules tomorrow in a video. Kind of just the same sort of video I made yesterday, just going over Arcs of Omen stuff. So nothing too serious, nothing too in depth. Can't really go in too in depth because I don't know everything. But I'm excited about everything about boarding actions, except if the rumour is right and it's £130 for the terrain, then I'm not. I don't mind buying new terrain, I guess, but I feel like I've got a lot of terrain. I've got boxes of terrain I never use, I guess, so it's like, terrain's a weird one. Like, you always buy terrain because you need it, and then someone else has better terrain, and then down the line you buy some new terrain, and then someone else has better terrain. You kind of get to a point with terrain where it's like I've got a box under my desk full of terrain that literally never gets used. But I mean, don't really want to sell it, but don't really know why I don't want to sell it, you know? That makes sense? Probably makes sense. Time to bring the heavy flamers. Yeah, I mean, Centurions, Aggressors, and Terminators are going to be the 3 units that, like, scream out to me that you could use in boarding actions. The only other one that I thought, if you have Necromunda train, you may be able to skip it. I've got Necromunda, but I don't have a whole heap of, like, actual high walls, Zone of Mortalis style terrain. Evening, Stephen. Hey, Ivan. Okay, I've got a watch opening paint pots. That was sore. Why was that so sore? I think I'm getting to the point with my broken arm where I feel like I can do things again. So I've noticed a few times I've just been doing things that maybe I wasn't doing a week ago, or like for the last month with my right arm. And like I had my arm out the sling earlier, because I don't wear it in the sling all the time because I'm supposed to like stretch out and stuff. And so I was out of the sling, and then I stood up forgetting it was out of the sling, and like arm just sort of like fell to my side because I guess the muscle's a bit weak at the moment. But I was just like, oh yeah, I need to pay attention to if I have my sling on or not. Oops. It wasn't actually that sore, but it did sort of give me a shock. Yeah, even when I was painting these guys' feet, I mean, it was a disaster. I'd be so happy. I can use a mouse though with the right hand now, which is great because video editing with just one hand was a fucking disaster. Having to buy the other books for more faction abilities, Arcs of Omen, is BS. It's kind of strange, you know. They said, you're right, Marcus. They said that they weren't going to put rules in those campaign books anymore. Like, I'm sure that's what they said. But maybe they just meant like competitive rules. So they're going to put like, I guess, stuff like Arcs of Omen. Or sorry, stuff like boarding actions into the Arcs of Omen books. I didn't buy all the Psychic Awakening books. Like, I just bought the Psychic Awakening book that was relevant for Blood Angels. I think it was called Blood of Baal. Alright, this is hurting me a bit tonight. What the fuck is going on? I'm not drinking tonight, maybe that's the thing. Evening, Braden, how you doing? Marcus says, having to buy all other books for the faction abilities. Yeah, I'm sure they said that they were going to keep the rules away from those storybooks. But I guess they just meant competitive rules. It is a little annoying because I most likely will not read. I mean, I haven't read any of the lore from... Not really. You know, I would like in the Blood Angels Codex, there's like a page of lore about Dante and a page of lore about Tycho. I haven't read that for a few editions. I assume that like it's the same text as like the previous editions, maybe with just like some I was gonna say some addendums or some retcons or something, but I don't typically read that stuff, so I hear what you're saying. Vanguard veterans should be good again without AOC. Hopefully a points drop. Yeah, I mean, if Vanguard veterans get a points drop, then we'll see them more, and we'll see Blade Guard veterans more. Do you know what? I never mentioned Blade Guard for... They might get some play in boarding actions, right? Because, I mean, Storm Shield's 3 wounds, transhuman. Well, I mean, are we getting transhuman, or do we have to buy the book to know about transhuman? I'm not 100% sure on that one. Evening, Dark Ginger. I think there will be data slates, but no faction rules. Well, some of the rules got released today and they're free. So I'll try and spend a half an hour tomorrow trying to think what the hell I have to do tomorrow with the family and stuff. I think I can spend half an hour tomorrow during the day trying to make a quick breakdown of the Arcs of Omen stuff. I think I'd like to break it down for myself anyway to know what the hell is happening with it. Where I buy the magnifying glass from Amazon, it was like 21 bucks. It's got like a LED in it that you can charge. This one's like 3 years old, so the reason it's plugged in is the charge. When I first got it, the charge lasted about 2 hours. After about 18 months, the charge was down to like a half an hour. I guess there's only a tiny little slot for the battery here, so I guess I just leave it plugged into like this power bank. But it just clips onto any desk. I just have this book here because this thing is quite strong and it'll munch the top of the enamel off the desk if I don't clip it on. How's the arm? I mean, the arm is getting a lot better. Every day is easier. I'm hurting myself a lot more. I'm gonna play 2 games on Friday on the channel. I'm gonna play Gav's Knights, I think, and I'm gonna play Miles' Eldar. And hopefully I'll feel okay after 2 games. If I don't feel okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm going to try and find them a sub for the tournament because it's a team tournament. If I do feel okay, then great. I'm going to go to the team tournament, which is like a week, 10 days after that. I'm going to use the 3 Death Company, 2 of them with 4 Thunderhammers, and 1 of them with 5 Infernal Pistol Power Fists. Sorry, Infernal Pistol Power Swords. So, these guys are going to be very, very, very basically painted. But they are going to have enough on them to be valid for tournament play. I will say this, and it's entire heresy, but the Warhammer guys have been doing videos on the changes, and they've basically said that a lot of the mission rules are now scored better with troops. Says DTM. I mean, a lot of the stuff was already scored better with troops, right? It might be better if... It might be a better thing to allow people to take as little or as much troops as they want, though, right? And then make scoring easier with troops. Like, that might be a better way to do it than saying you must take compulsory 3 troop choices. Because compulsory 3 troop choices on a battalion, I guess it's fine. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter anyway, though. Battalions are gone, or in this new season we just have an Arcs of Omen detachment, as far as I'm aware. I've not watched Warhammer YouTubers, DTM. I've not watched them at all. I always struggle to watch other YouTubers for any length of time, because anytime I end up watching them I think to myself like, oh, I should be making content, so then I go and make content. So I'm like the worst person for watching and keeping up to date on other people's stuff, unless I've got nothing going on and I've just released a video, like that one day a week where I've got a video out and I'm happy about it. Good evening, Jim Bean. Jim Bill. I thought it was Jim Bean. That's whiskey. Jim Bill. Miguel says this would be a perfect time to take Gathriel Seth if I had one. It would be, actually, wouldn't it? He'd be just perfect for going in on boarding actions. It's a chaos-centric YouTube channel. Oh man, I don't watch Heresy. Definitely not. Allies still seem to use patrols. Yeah, it looked like there was very specific rules for allies and patrols, right? Because it was like the wording on that Imperium detachment was like, you may take a Votan patrol detachment. It didn't say like you could take like another Marine patrol detachment or anything. It just said you could take a Votan patrol detachment. So until we know exactly what that looks like, hard to say exactly what the detachment rules are gonna, what they're gonna end on, or how exactly they're gonna interact, right? But yeah, like feels like forever since I could paint. And it feels like forever since I could hold a mouse and keyboard, so being able to do both is feeling really nice. What's up, Carter? My daughter just woke up. I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. Sorry.
Hey, Daddy's here, Uncle. Daddy's here.
Oh, sorry guys. Guess it's a bad dream. Hey Brick. How would I feel about the community judging the painting competitions? God damn it. Yeah, I would be fine with that. I might have to go AFK for a few minutes. Let's see. Oh, better sell. I think I'm going to build a jump pack army full of assault marines, says Dirty Wizard. Why assault marines? Chapter champions are going to be very fun boarding actions. Mark just got to start collecting Necron box. Hey Mark, gonna Happy New Year. I was gonna say good afternoon. I don't know why I was gonna say that. I'm discombobulated. Mike got the 1,000 Suns bought for Christmas. And we grabbed some more Plasma Inceptors. Yeah, Plasma Inceptors are rumoured to really be dropping in points, aren't they? Chaos is going to be really good now that you can just put Knights in the detachment. I mean, Chaos were pretty good anyway. Especially Zinch Flamers, right? Hey Toasty. Darren says, forgive me, I've defected to the short side after getting the Votan box. Well, I mean, you can still play Blood Angels and you can just run a detachment of Votan. That's the way they've written it. That's the rules now, I guess. You want to do a detachment of Votan, a patrol detachment, then that's absolutely fine, right? I like the idea of a Votan patrol detachment. I mean, I think it could be a cool addition to just about any Marine force. I just don't. I think personally, I'm going to just focus on Blood Angels still. I also like the idea of the Helverin detachment too. That doesn't cost any CP. Make the Helverins like monster hunters. I think that's pretty strong. I suppose it's all going to depend on what secondary we get, right? Because the rumour is that there's only going to be one faction secondary per side. So, what I've heard, and I don't know if this is right, I've heard that our faction secondary is going to be death from above. Which honestly I don't love the idea of, because I don't typically reserve much, or anything. Maybe I reserve like one squad of guys. I know it's going to be cheaper to reserve guys now, so maybe we'll see it more often. But yeah, that's what I heard, that our secondary is going to be death from above. So who knows? Does anyone know where our secondary is going to be? Has anyone heard of the actual leak? And these Death Company guys that have like the sort of metallic jaw, I will paint that like metal, like what metal? Like lead belcher or something, and just make it look a bit like an old knight helmet. Troy says, I wish Inceptors would just take a mortal wound. They're a fun unit. Yeah, you're right, Troy. Inceptors should not kill themselves on high power. Space Marine Plasma is... The fact that they've got those models at 60 points per model at the moment is actually like kind of a bad joke, considering that they kill themselves on rolls of ones, but I really think they should just do a mortal to themselves. I think if they made it that they just did a mortal to themselves, you might actually see some people take Hellblasters. Because like nobody takes Hellblasters ever, pretty much, right? Oh, greetings, Curtis. Hello. Happy New Year, Morgo. Blood Angels with those railguns would be nice, and the OBSEC bikes. I hope we keep Relentless Assault. Yeah, I heard that we're getting to keep Death from Above. I don't know why, because I don't think anyone takes it, but that's what I heard. Yeah, I'm glad to be back to the brushes. It's slow and it's painful, and the way I'm having to sit is hurt my back leaning over, I guess, but it's something. I guess it's something. Evening, Robert. Everybody's saying Gets Hot should just do one more. Oh yeah, agreed, Highland Phoenix. I opened my first present, it was a Black Legion squad. I pretended to be happy, then I opened up my second present, it was a Defiler. I had to go to my man cave and get out the Black Rage. I was asking on my stream the other night, I was like, how are you guys getting your significant others convinced to buy Warhammer models? Or taught to buy Warhammer models might be a better way of putting it. I'm just trying to find something easy on all these guys to paint to just give them a little more than like the basic 3 colours. I hope it's not Fury of the Lost. Scepters aren't overpowered at 40 points. No way. They're gonna lose Armor of Contempt, so they're gonna have crap durability again. I don't know if everyone remembers how bad our durability problems were before Armor of Contempt, but like, they're pretty bad. I think before Armor of Contempt, I was gonna say, I guess there's a couple of players winning events with Blood Angels, but not many. Morgo says no one buys me models. They give me a bunch of t-shirts with Blood Angels. Well, I mean, at least that's cool. No one buys me models. Which is funny, because like, I've actually said to my wife in previous years, I was like, you would just literally buy anything that says Blood Angels on the Games Workshop website and I would be happy, you know? Like, you just go to the Games Workshop, it's right there, click Blood Angels, buy anything and I would be happy, because anything that, if I had it, I could either convert it or I could make a second one, right? But still don't get Blood Angel stuff. Ah, rage. Literally the Black Rage. Daniel says I'm only one in my family with money. Fair enough, Daniel. I mean, I guess that in itself is the problem if you want new models, right? If you're the only one with money, you ain't getting many new models. If the target is -1 damage, then you never overcharge. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even Ultramarine and Scepters, my experience of them is like, well, I mean, I guess they were just overcosted at 60 points, like pretty badly overcosted. Maybe if they go back to 40 points, we'll see. I mean, what's going to happen to Bolter and Scepters? Because they can't have Plasma and Scepters the same points as Bolter and Scepters. I mean, I suppose they can have them, but to me that seems really dumb, because Plasma and Scepters are like, no, they're just in a bit of a different league than the Bolter and Scepters, right? And as such, they should be more expensive, or they should be different points cost. If we lose Fury of the Lost, we'll need to drop Death Company. Yeah. Or we'll need to start them all, half of them in Strategic Reserve, I guess. Curtis bought himself some Eradicators this year, so he got a good present. That's the way to do it, Curtis. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm fixing to probably buy myself Arcs of Omen chapter approved, and maybe the terrain on Saturday. We'll have to see how expensive the terrain is. League of Votan have a way to get a 4-up and a 5-up invulnerable save on troops. Armor of Contempt going away won't affect that. League of Votan aren't really affected by Armor of Contempt, though. They have their own Void Armor thing, and I think that's completely separate to Armor of Contempt. I don't expect to see Void Armor take a nerf or get removed or anything like that. I think that's completely separate to the rumoured Armor of Contempt removal. I think that's probably accurate to say, but I guess we'll find out. Chrono saying, hello, make bolters great against this, Carter. Yeah, the Space Marine bolters really have suffered this edition, haven't they? They're not as exciting a weapon as they once were. Have I seen Brutalis and Desolator leaks? I have not. If you have the leaks, I'd love for you to send them my way, Robert. Can you DM them me in Discord? Void armor is a little better because they can't reroll wounds. Yeah, I know, but I mean, I think if people think that void armor is going away with the quote-unquote armor of contempt going away, I think that's two separate rules, and I don't think void armor is going to get touched. I think Games Workshop are going to think Votan are fine. They're on a 52% win rate. People still just don't know how to play them. So I'd be very surprised if anything changes with Void Armor. Mike says I'm probably going to run successors in these two RTTs in Jan due to the detachment shake-up. Not sure I need named characters. Well, I mean, I've only recently started playing Lamartez as a named character because I think one of the things I noticed this edition or this last 6 months is like I've struggled to score some secondary points, and I felt like I needed to lean more heavily into Fury of the Lost, which is a secondary that like a lot of people were taking and a lot of people were scoring well with. So that's why I took Lamartez, but you could totally do it without Lamartez. You could do a Death Company captain, and you could do like 3 squads of Death Company. I mean, so yeah, I think I mean, I don't run Dante, I run a Chapter Master on a bike, which I prefer. And then I kind of feel like Sangre Priest is not to include, Sangre Ancient is not to include, and they're not named characters, so you could take them. Votan are supposedly getting a few points upgrade increases. I mean, maybe you will see some points upgrades increases on that land fortress, because the damage that land fortress can do is kind of obnoxious, right? So I wouldn't mind seeing a few points increases on the land fortress. But and maybe I was going to say maybe they're berserkers. They seem really nasty as well. But beyond that, I'm not sure. I've played Votan 3 times, and I've won twice. In the game that I lost, well, for one, I was in a ton of pain because it was the first game I played since I broke my arm, and also I think I made a couple of big mistakes in that game, probably because I'm not familiar enough with Votan. So I actually think that like Blood Angels can handle Votan, unless Andrew's just playing them really crappily, but he was playing them with that Ymir thing where like their whole army has those invuln saves, and what's the other thing that they get? Yeah, the land fortress does basically 4 mortal wounds minimum every time it shoots on top of all of its guns, and its guns are kind of obnoxious anyway. So I feel like Votan are in okay place. I'm not sure they need much changes, DTM. Michael says the Death Company captain is pretty fun. We might see a return of Death Company captains as well in the new boarding actions, because you're not going to be allowed to take any characters that have jump packs. So that rules out a bunch of named characters for Blood Angels, I guess, right? There was a rumor, though, and I think it was just a rumor that was on Reddit, that there was going to be like ways of getting into the different doctrines quicker. Votan isn't fun to play into, says Daily Crossword. Yeah, I mean, when I play Votan, it's like playing Tau, though. You just have to hide everything. So, as a Blood Angels player, we're kind of lucky, right? Because like that's kind of what we want to do anyway. We want to hide everything in obscuring terrain until we can jump out. But if you're an army that can't hide everything or wants to return like a significant amount of firepower, then I think playing into Votan is generally pretty unfun, yeah. And it's once they start getting those grudgement tokens. Judgment tokens. Why do I think they're called grudges? I don't know. I was going to call it grudgement tokens. Once they start getting the grudgement tokens up, and they start auto-wounding, then their army becomes even more obnoxious, because like those auto-wounds are so powerful. You get like their shitty little guns just blowing wounds through your tanks. I lost a Gladiator into that game of Votan like so quickly. Like I could have smokescreened the Gladiator, but I was like, no, he's never going to kill this Gladiator in like one turn with all those little shitty guns. And it was like, oh, you just killed my 12 wound toughness 8 tank like it was nothing. Okay, my bad. What a waste of 200 points for me. Dwarves in space. Mark said he lost in a close game against Votan. Yeah, I mean, the best thing you could do against Votan is hide in obscuring terrain. And I feel like we can do that, so we have a chance against them. I do think some armies it would be genuinely very unfun to play Votan. Tabletop Titans coined the phrase, that's a grudging. It's fun. I haven't watched any of Tabletop Titans Votan games, so I don't know how I've got that in my head. It's like a book of grudges for the dwarf, yeah. Because you didn't take the Reaper. The Reaper would have been dead too. Highland Phoenix. It made no difference, I suppose. But honestly, I think you're going to hate me for saying this, but I think Gladiator tanks right now are trash. I think if you want a Gladiator tank to be competitive, I think it needs like 30 points knocked off of it on all variants, probably. Like, it's just like, as a Blood Angel, you're just way better taking either, well, probably land speeders. If I had more land speeders, I would just take more land speeders. A land speeder, I just bought one recently actually, so I have 2 now, but maybe I need a 3rd one, maybe even want a 4th one actually. But honestly, I would just take land speeders, eliminators, or attack bikes. I think eliminators might get hurt by the Armor of Contempt change. Toasty says Votan are not fun to play against because essentially the token syndication punishes you for playing Warhammer. It's the best combat mechanic on an army whose datasheets don't need a combat mechanic. Yeah, I mean, if once the judges get up, it becomes absolutely brutal. Wildling, good evening. It's nice to see you. How you doing? Happy New Year to anyone that just joined a few minutes ago and didn't hear us say that. My daughter wanted me to read this fucking Spider-Man book tonight, and I've decided, I haven't read it in a while because she gets nightmares. She asked me for it, and I can hear her, so I'm gonna have to get up for a second again. Goddamn Spider-Man. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Sorry. Not reading that Spider-Man book again. Is Bladeguard Veterans confirmed going down to 30 points? I don't know, but I've heard a few people say that. DTM says smash the like button. I would appreciate that for sure. I think Votan's secondaries and psychic powers are really weak. I don't think their secondaries are that weak. Maybe they're a little bit weak. All the games I played against the Votan, they seemed to score like 80 something points. It wasn't like they were miles behind, or it wasn't like they were weak. I also like the fact that they can their psyker can do a psychic action as well as casting powers, which is pretty nice, and they can also like get 2 command points back per turn, which is also pretty nice. Like, no other army can do that. I think it's from like, actually I can't remember how they do that, but Andrew checked the rules and they're like the only army they can get 2 command points back per turn. Dirty Wizard says my Terrax always does me good when I drop it on the table. I've bought a Terrax. Mike's painting it for me right now. I mean, I think Mike has actually finished painting it for me. He just has to paint the rest of the models that I had on the commission, and then he'll be sending me the Terrax. So I might use the Terrax at the event I go to in March. I'm going to the GT in March. We'll see. I've liked the idea of a Blood Angels Terrax for a while. I mean, I think I actually originally tried to do that commission back in May, but I had a problem with the commission artist, and he ended up sending me all the models like unfinished and refunding me. So that's when Mike didn't take over that commission until like November. But Wado says I'm looking to get 32mm bases for my old school Blood Angels. Any other base sizes that change that I need to know? Returning player. Welcome back, Wado. Thank you for being here, and thanks for saying hello and joining in on the community and live stream. You don't need to buy new bases if you want to get your models onto the right bases. You can get what they call them is base ring extenders, I think, on eBay, and they're about I think they're about $3.99 for 10. Terminators can also go on much bigger bases now. They go on 40s rather than 25s, and you can get those base extenders as well for Terminators. I've got a bunch of them. I can show you some actually, and you can see what the finished models look like with the base extenders on versus not having the base extenders on. And if you don't want to have the hassle of pulling all the bases off and rebasing them, then I would say the base extenders are amazing. They save so much work and time, and yeah, honestly, the final effect, unless someone's really looking at them, you probably wouldn't even know that their base extenders are on there. Because I actually dropped one of my models at an event, and like, you know, when you drop a model, obviously it makes a noise, and the guy was like, "That's a metal model?" Like, he was surprised, and I was like, "Oh yeah, some of my Death Company are the super old metal ones. I just put base extenders on them." And he was like, "Oh damn, let me see it." So yeah, I swear by the base extenders. I actually bought like another batch of them recently, so I just keep converting old stuff onto the new base sizes. I just went through this. Wapedia does have the base sizes for all the models. Yeah, that's true as well. They're still valid on the smaller bases if you have them on the smaller bases, but I mean, I think it's nice to get them sort of unified onto larger bases for sure. Let me grab this box behind me because I'm sure it's got some Death Company with base extenders on them. I'll show you them. Etsy or Amazon? eBay is where I got mine. If you just on eBay and you type like 25mm to 32mm, you'll find them. Let me check this box. I'm sure it's got some Death Company that have got base extenders on them. Alright, yeah, here you go, right? Here's one of my Death Company. Put another light in here so you can see it even better. Here's a Death Company on like a regular 32mm base, right? That's what it looks like. Here's a Death Company who was on a 25mm base that's had one of those base extenders stuck on them. You can see the rim between the base extender and the base. Which what I do is when I put the base extender in, I actually glue these base extenders on and then fill that rim with green stuff, and you can see that there is a rim there. What I try and do is pack a little bit extra texture paint in there to try and like mask it, but you can definitely see it. But like when they're down there on the tabletop like that, which they are, you know, a couple of meters away from your eyesight when you're playing, I feel like there's literally no way you're telling me that you can tell that they're a base extender, unless you pick the model up and look at it. $3.99 for 10. Glue them on, fill them with green stuff. I think I actually made a video on it. I'm probably sure if you search YouTube for Blood Angels Commander base extender, you'll find it. Anyway, let's move on from base extenders. Sometimes the trick with those old metal models was to stick a 2p piece to the bottom of them, just to give them like some counterweight if they were you were struggling to have them to stand up. I mean, staying up too late, I get sleep in my eyes. Alright, hold on. Robert sent me leaks for So are these leaks actual data sheets, Robert? The open Discord. Oh man, I was hoping that the leaks were like the actual data sheets. Damn it, it's just some random text. Okay. Rumored playtesting stats. Okay. Oh, that would have been so hot if it was the data sheets. Okay. Anyway, what we'll do then is I'll tack that on to the video about boarding parties maybe tomorrow. Or I was gonna say, should I do a rumor video? I've been avoiding doing rumor videos. You guys wanted me to make a rumor video? I don't know, I feel like there's a few channels out there that just do rumor videos all the time, and I don't know how I feel about it. The problem I think was, like, the last time I did a rumor video, it was like the very next day after I did it, someone came in and was like, that's bullshit, those rumors aren't true, and I don't think they were true, so... yeah. I think I'll wait till we get the actual... Yeah, leak videos are good, rumor videos are... Rumors are rumors, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm gonna make a video on actual rules for boarding party tomorrow anyway, I think, if I can. I think the rumor mill is just toxic clickbait, says Reziel. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it, right? I want when people come to the channel, they feel like they're actually getting valuable content. Don't want people to come to the channel and be like, hey, those rumors are bullshit, why'd you waste your time doing that? And also, it's got no real value either. So how's everybody's hobbying been going in the festive period? Did anyone get a lot of time off? Did anyone actually finish any projects? My project was going to be these Death Company, and I thought that maybe I could have them all finished, but that was before I fucked my arm, and to do a couple of streams where like, well, I think it took me like three streams just to build the Death Company because I had to go so fucking slowly. And then, yeah, I did a couple of streams of Star Wars Legion model building as well, because I wasn't ready to do any sort of painting at that point too. So I lost a bit of time. I'd hoped to... I actually had a squad of incursors that were like 90% finished as well that I was hoping to finish, so... I've got like a week left of time off work, but I'm definitely not going to get to where I wanted to be. Did you see the Cadian upgrade sprue leak? Hope Marines get that treatment with a decent selection. I did see that there was a new upgrade sprue. Wildling just finished 20 Vanguard Vets. You had recommended like a year ago. Well done on finishing 20 Vets though. I did 20 Wildling. Like, anytime you do a batch paint of 20 models, that's a serious project, and it's easy to get burnt out, I feel like. Mike spent most of his holiday on dad duty. Yeah, I've built like a shitload of Duplo this holiday. I'm going to be so happy when my kid's a little bit older and she wants to do like Legos rather than Duplos, because Duplos are fine, I guess, but I'd rather be doing Legos. DTM is going to do his count of the Crimson King models this weekend. Well, I'll probably be here on Saturday night streaming. So if you want to come past on Saturday night and hang out DTM, I'll just probably be painting these Death Company. I might put some paint on the Land Speeder because I've only got one that's in a good state. We'll see. I really want the thing that I think I want the most with the new changes, because the new changes are going to hurt Death Company and Sandguard if they don't drop points. But they lose Armor of Contempt, those two units are going to get hurt. So I think the change that I really want to see is Terminators dropping in points, Blade Guard Veterans dropping in points. I'd like to see Impulsors dropping points so that like I could actually run an Impulsor. Because I bought an Impulsor and essentially I have two of them now. I just don't really think you can run them. Yeah, where's the leak? I mean, you could see the leak sprue on Valrak's channel. He put out a video about it earlier. My daughter was struck down with meningitis mid-September, so spending all my time at the hospital. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm glad to hear that she got home safe. It's the most, for people that don't have kids, it's the most worrying thing ever when your kid is ill and you don't know what it is, or you know it's something serious. It's like, because you feel fucking helpless. You know, it's way worse than when you get ill. Like, when you get ill, you just suck it up, you deal with it. When it's your kid that's ill and you don't know what it is, or it's something serious, it's like the worst thing ever. So yeah, stay strong, Dirty Wizard. It's I've been through a bit of that myself this last year, and it's not fun. Wado says he has painted... he said something. 4 Blood Angels heroes and 5 intercessors and 12 riders of Rohan. Rohan. I like the look of that new Lord of the Rings box set. You know that? Battle of Askelia.
Shane donated $10 via Super Chat. What armies do you think will be scary in Space Hulk, like boards? I play Genestealer cults sometimes and I think Pure's trains are gonna be a menace.
Hey Shane, thank you so much for the $10. I think the new boarding actions is going to be hella fun. I really do. I think it's going to... Well, I'm going to put out a video on it tomorrow. I saw my email like just 10-15 minutes before I came on stream, and there's like an article on Warhammer Community that they just shared today about some of the things that you're not going to be able to take into boarding actions, which is the new I guess it's like a new game mode, really. I don't know what you would call it. It's like an expansion or a mini game or a game mode or something. And yeah, Gene Stealers typically work really well on Space Hulks, don't they? I mean, they're like your I was gonna say they're like your primary antagonists, or they're like your iconic antagonists. You know, like if you think of like the Aliens movie from like 1986 or whatever it was, it's sort of like the iconic Space Hulk. I mean, they weren't on a Space Hulk in the Aliens movie, but they were in tight quarters with those aliens. If you have the stat lines, Robert, yeah, I mean, I guess share them, but I'll probably only do a video when we actually get the data sheets. I bet Tower going to be good in Zone Mortalis. Well, the interesting thing, Reziel, is that I don't know if you watched my video the other day, but they basically said that if you, like, let's say you had a Terminator with a Storm Shield, and you put him up front, and he blocks most of the corridor, then enemy models will not be able to shoot through him to any other unit behind him, and friendly models won't be able to shoot through him either. So I think Storm Shield Terminators, maybe even Blade Guard Veterans, anything that has a 4-up invulnerable save and like 3 wounds or more, is going to be good, right? Because they're going to block up corridors, they're going to force you to shoot at them. And if, like, I remember one of my games against Andrew's Knights or whatnot, or was it Gav's Knights, he had like all his Knights shoot at a squad of Terminators, and they didn't do any damage to them whatsoever. Like, they didn't take a single wound, like a whole squad of Knights shooting at the Terminators or something like that. Yeah, he munched them up in melee combat, but I guess the point is that, like, Terminators, and also there's this interesting rule as well, where if your model's like half obscured, so like say there's a corridor, and you can like have your model sort of like half behind the cover, so like his foot is out in the corridor. So if there was a doorway on both sides of the corridor, imagine, so if you had 2 Terminators sort of like peering out the doorways on both sides of the corridor, both of them would also be classed as in cover, because you have to be able to draw the 1mm line to the whole model's base for cover to not apply, basically. So like basically what that means is boarding actions will be sorry, Shane's question, what's going to be a menace? I guess what's going to be menace is going to be fast and high EP. Like, it's going to say, I can't decide. Because if a squad blocks the other squads behind, right? Like, are Custodes going to be a real menace? Because like, if you have a squad of Custodes, then they can all shoot, right? Like, I think the same unit can shoot through its own unit, just other units can't shoot through them. So is it going to be like really elite choices are going to be the strongest? Does anyone think that? Or is it going to be, it's surely going to be big elite choices that are going to be strongest. Like, it's going to be way stronger than like a unit of Spider-Man is a menace, yes. It's going to be way stronger than like a squad of grunts. You should probably consider, I don't know when I would have time to learn TTS, Reziel. I really don't think I would have time to learn it. When I come off vacation and normal behavior resumes, normal video content for me, Happy New Year, Daniel. Loads of chaff. I don't think chaff is gonna, because chaff's just gonna die, right? And like, yeah, I think it's going to be dominated by fast-moving units that can close distances quickly, or really heavily armored elites. I think is going to be good in Boarding Party. I mean, I've not played it, obviously, in that the rules are being up for pre-order on like this Saturday. But that's just the feeling that I get. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong with shit. I can't take my floated boat drones. No, you can't take anything that flies. You can't take any vehicles, you can't take any monsters. But I think Gene Stealers would be good, yeah. I appreciate the offers to teach me TTS. It's just I don't have time, guys. I mean, I always put out a video on Friday, right? Which I always work on Monday and Tuesday nights. So I spend most of the Monday and Tuesday nights till like 10 o'clock with my wife. Then I go upstairs and work on a video. So unless I'm like ditching my weekly video, I don't have time. Because then on Wednesday nights I play a game live. Thursday nights we usually do the podcast or I stream. Friday nights is my night off. Saturday I stream, Sunday I stream, right? So like there is no time in my schedule to learn TTS. But I prefer being social with Warhammer anyway. Going and meeting people, and I can't create TTS content on YouTube. It's illegal. It's like copyright infringement all over it, Rezio. So I wouldn't put any of that on my channel. I'm going to fix these guys' feet. Are bikers counted? Outriders have the biker keyword but not vehicle. Yeah, it said no bikes either. It did say no bikes either, Hadley. So, I mean, pretty sucky for like white scars, I guess. But yeah, no, I will film that video tomorrow. Try and get it out and see what we can't break down from it. Assassins will be awesome in boarding actions. Assassins will be cool. I mean, Assassins are a cool unit anyway. I wonder how Deep Strike will work in boarding actions. Are there even Warlord traits in boarding actions, or relics for that matter? I don't know yet. I guess probably nobody knows yet, DTM. As soon as you know, let me know and we can discuss it. But I guess I'm going to have to get this Arcs of Omen book on Saturday. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the rules for boarding actions being in like a £35 lower book that I probably won't read, but I guess it is what it is. What about Phobos units that can move through models? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I forgot some of those Phobos units can move through models. Hey, that might give... I mean, the photo that they shared this week did have some Phobos... I mean, I've got a lot of Phobos stuff, actually. I got the Librarian, I got the Lieutenants, I got the Captains, I got multiple Incursors, multiple Infiltrators. And if I suppose it's going to depend on how needed troops are. So basically the detachment is 1 HQ, up to 3 troops, up to 3 elites, but there is no requirement on any of them. So it's all like 0 to 1, 0 to 3, 0 to 3. So if you don't want to take any HQ, you don't have to take a HQ. If you don't want to take any troops, you don't have to take any troops. I guess just the question is going to be... what do you actually need to like win the missions, I guess? Like, do you need troops in boarding actions? And I guess until we actually see what the boarding actions missions are, no one knows. Maybe the Phobos Librarian will have some time in the sun. Maybe. TTS is actually really simple. I thought a guy who can't follow simple YouTube directions. Oh, you fought a guy. Okay. I think you confused me with your spelling there. No jump packs units, nothing that includes a fly keyword. Yeah, that's correct, Jane. I was going to say, I still think Tyranids are probably going to be pretty good. Gene Stealers will be good. I think Marines will need to lean on, like, Terminator style units. Custodes might be really good. I just can't decide if the weak... Like, I can't... Yeah, until we play it we won't know, but I can't decide if stuff like Eldari will be good or if it will just be bad, because... Death Company Intercessors might be worth taking. Indeed, they might be, Rezio, because it's going to be the one... It's going to be the one game type where Death Company... I mean, a bunch of chainsword attacks are going to be really effective. And... we never see Death Company Intercessors, so this might be their time to shine in the sun. You are, I think you're maybe on a winner there. I was building Death Company Intercessors just before I broke my arm as well. Maybe like a 10-man squad. So maybe I'll try and finish that as well. Toasty's wanting his Primaris Dante. I might dust off the Ord Corbulo in Terminator armor. I never even knew there was a Corbulo in Terminator armor. The Primaris Lieutenant with a Storm Shield. He's a cool character. I like the Primaris Lieutenant with a Storm Shield. He's got one of those Volkite pistols as well, doesn't he? Good night, Nucking. I'm still far more focused on. Yeah, I mean, I'm unlikely. I'm probably going to play like 1 or 2 games of boarding actions in the first 6 months. You know that, right? It may even be like my typical thing where like I get excited about it, and in actual fact I don't have any time to play boarding actions, because before the tournament that I go to on March 14th I'll probably get like 8 games, and I'll be wanting to spend those 8 games to figure out what my list should be to win that event, because I still haven't won a tournament and I still want to win a tournament, right? If the Marines have giant points dropped, then maybe we actually have a chance to win a tournament, who knows, but I want to try regardless. So yeah, I'll probably end up, I don't know when I'll play my first game of boarding actions, but trust me, I want to play it. However, obviously you guys know that I've bought this green screen now because I've been using it in a bunch of my videos. I also want to buy like a stream deck, which is a thing you can use to make your streams higher quality, better, whatever. So I wanted to buy that this month. I'm always buying things for the stream as well, like bought new cameras, bought the green screen, bought a new microphone. So yeah, boarding action. As much as I want boarding actions, I might wait because I really want to buy the stream deck. And Stream Deck is not a Steam Deck. They sound similar, but they're definitely different things. Stream Deck is the thing that makes it easier to stream. What tournament am I attending? The one in March is called Scottish Takeover. It's on BCP, I'm sure. That Lieutenant is one of the best ones. Do you know what? I've got 2 of those Primaris Captains with the Storm Shields from... or the Relic Shields from... oh god damn it, think. From Indomitus. Here's a question. Would the Primaris Captain in Gravis armor, that's a model I don't have, would he be good in boarding actions? He might be, right? Because he could become a Death Company captain, so you could run the Primaris Cap. This is the cool thing about boarding actions. Boarding actions, I think, will just let us run some of the models that people have bought over the last few years that are cool, that are not allowed to see the light of competitive play, or not allowed to... I mean, I guess they're allowed to see the light of competitive play if you just want to go to a competitive event and get stopped, right? I think that's why I'm excited about boarding actions, is because I have a lot of models that I have painstakingly painted over multiple hours or days or weeks or whatever, and I can never play with them. And I guess I want to play with them for lack of a better way of discussing it. So I think that's why I want to get boarding actions. And the fact that they've kept the rules the same. They literally said the rules are going to be the same, so I don't need to learn rules. I said that on my other video, like, if I wanted to go to a Kill Team event, I'd probably need to stop playing 40k and spend 6 months learning Kill Team, and then by the time I come back to 40k I wouldn't have a fucking clue what's going on, because I spent all this time doing Kill Team and my brain isn't that good and it doesn't remember shit. So, Stream Deck's a good investment. Says Hadley, yeah, I would love to have one. I think I'm going to go for the 9-button one. I think that's more transitions than I'll honestly need, so who knows. But yeah, I'd love a Stream Deck. You can probably get the terrain set for Blood Angels from Etsy. Yeah, I mean, I'll see what we're going to do about the terrain set. Someone in the office, like where we play our games, might be getting that terrain set. Mark, thanks for hanging out tonight, I appreciate it. Mephiston's Bloodlance will be good in boarding actions, says Dirty Wizard. It might be decent, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess anything that draws line of sight across multiple units might be decent. See, yeah, it's just going to open up some options, that some cool things, some different things. Seller says non-competitive units and characters. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Thousand Suns, boarding actions doesn't really do that. We can field sorcerers, rubrics, terminators pretty much, which is what we field anyway. I guess. Can you field a Demon Prince? Or can Thousand Suns not take a Demon Prince? I mean, the Demon Prince's wings are like one of the most expensive upgrades on the planet, from my remembrance. You're like 30 point. They're like as expensive as Corbelo's jump packs or something. They're not Corbelo, the Sanguinary Priest jump packs. This paintbrush is really on its last legs. The bristles are just so sprayed constantly. Votan beam weapons. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Beam weapons will be a nightmare in boarding actions, won't they? God, Votan always seem to have an answer for everything, don't they? They really are the new hotness. Yeah, a big beam weapon down one of the corridors, that'll be fun. That'll ruin my idea of the Terminator squad being good. I think you could do. I think you could. Yeah, I don't think you can use monsters, Reziel. I think that's a. I think that was one of the rules. No monsters or vehicles, so no carnifexes. I think it said you could take a prime. Like you can take Gilliman, because it definitely said you could take a Primarch. I wonder, yeah, I wonder how you would do some sort of narrative campaign on the Space Hulk. But I think it could be pretty cool, actually. Oh well, Arcs of Omen is like next week, so we don't have too long to wait, huh? Votan have an answer for everything except looking over windowsill, says Darren. bet Crusade and boarding actions are very compatible. I wonder if it's... I imagine it's just going to be 2-player, I was going to say, because Kill Team is... Kill Team can be more than 2-player. This is painfully slow. I mean, I'm painfully slow at painting anyway, but this is painfully slow having to take the pot, juggle the paint from one hand to the other, and then... Oh well, at least my guys will be ready for a tournament. I was worried that I wasn't going to get to use these guys. I bought them in November for a tournament in January, and I was like, yeah, I can definitely get them ready. I don't think beam weapons will work since you can't cross bases. Interesting, Terrence. Yeah, I don't know how that'll work actually. I don't know what the interaction will be. People are saying it's dropping on the 14th. I'm disappointed you didn't watch my video from yesterday. Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday. It's up for pre-order this it's up for pre-order this Saturday, and it will be released on the 14th. Yes. So what's on pre-order tomorrow is the arcs. Sorry, tomorrow? Saturday. I think you commented on the video. Yeah, I think you probably did actually. Maybe you were hungover on the 2nd of January. I mean, that could have happened. I think it's the Arcs of Omen book, which contains the boarding action rules, the boarding action terrain, and the chapter approved book. The Arcs of Omen book the Arcs of Omen Abaddon book is getting a collector's edition version as well. I don't know. I've got the collection edition Codex of Blood Angels, and I don't think it's that exciting, so probably just going to leave that collector's edition. I think it's just literally a different hardcover, like almost like a matte hardcover, like M-A-T. A matte finish, however you would spell that, M-A-T-T. It's New Year's week, so you're hungover again today. Nice. I was actually okay. I drank some water before I went to bed on the 1st, or on the 31st. How would you use actions to open bulkhead doors? I don't think they've explained that yet. I didn't mention, that wasn't... They mentioned you could open doors, but in the video I made yesterday, there was nothing in the article about how you actually go around doing actions or opening doors. So I don't know that yet. I don't think it was mentioned in today's article either, but I'll cover it whenever we know, I guess. Yeah, the 2 weeks that I get off from my day job at Christmas, sometimes in previous years can turn into 2 weeks of like day drinking. Day drinking just basically means like at any point during the day you can start drinking alcohol. And yeah, sometimes that happens. Like I've definitely had it happen where it's like I've lost like a whole week of my time off because the whole first week or the whole second week I've just been drinking every day. So try not to do... I mean, I don't think I've done that since I've had children. I definitely did it quite a lot before I had kids. It was just like, oh, there's nothing to do today except sit around and eat all Christmas food and watch telly and stuff. Alright, I'm going to be drinking. I'm not talking like drinking like a crazy maniac, but like you know, 4 or 5 beers during the day, just for a little healthy buzz. Would you have to sacrifice shooting? I imagine you have to sacrifice something unless units can get like 1 action point. Simon, hey everyone, finally have a day off tomorrow, so having a game against Space Wolves. Time to try out my new list. Good luck, Simon. Isn't that being Scottish? Day drinking. I mean, maybe when I was in my 20s. Yeah, sure. In my 30s, not so much. I'm glad that the camera is so far away from this model, because you guys are not seeing the mess that I'm making of it. I'm gonna have to... Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the black paint out again. After every single guy here, even doing just basic colours, I'm just having to get the black paint out and go around everything, because it's a mess. Darren hasn't touched alcohol all year. I mean, we're 3 days in, Darren, so I mean, that's solid. Give those space puppies an extra kick, says Dirty Wizard. Anyone looking forward to Warhammer TV this year? It looks like some good stuff's coming out. I haven't watched enough Warhammer TV content this last year. I haven't even opened my my assassin from last year yet. I've got him still in his box over there. He had been on the list of things to get done this holiday, but I guess I'm not going to get as much done as I'd wanted with the broken arm and everything. I also wanted to do... I got the store anniversary model, the Inquisitor. A custom named Inquisitor that I didn't really know about. So I was hoping to get to him too. I might still make him actually. I just hadn't quite worked out if I can include him in a list yet very effectively. Because I think if I want to include the custom Inquisitor, then I probably end up with like 5 characters. I feel like 5 characters is too much. I mean, it opens up the assassinate pick obviously, but like, I just don't know if I like the idea of 5 characters. I don't think the game's like Hero Hammer anymore, so I think 5 characters is too much. So I mean, I guess I haven't prioritised that Inquisitor because I feel like I'm not going to drop my chaplain, my captain on a bike because I love him too much. I'm not going to drop my Sanguinary Priest because I need to go into Assault Doctrine early, same thing I suppose. I'm not going to drop Lamartez because I'm doing Fury of the Lost now. I'm not going to drop the Sanguinary Ancient because I like 2 inches of extra movement. So then at that point, it's like, if I do want to take the Inquisitor, then yeah, it's 5 characters. Like, I feel like 5 characters is too much. And he's only 60 points, the Inquisitor. Still just feel it's too much. If Fury goes, you may end up dropping Lamartez. That's very true. And there is rumours that Fury is going away, isn't there? So we could end up dropping Lamartez, which means maybe I do want to make this Inquisitor. Oh well, maybe this Saturday I'll paint these Death Company one more time. I definitely feel like there's enough colours on these guys where I'll get my painting points now. Or if I spend one more evening on them. I mean, they're not great, right? They're obviously nowhere near done, but at least I've made an effort, and if anyone says anything about trying to take my painting points away, I'll be like, hey, I have a broken arm. I feel like I did pretty well to get any paint on these guys whatsoever. You know, it actually doesn't take me that long to clean up all the mistakes that I make. Just annoying making mistakes. Hey DTM, I'm taking off in a few minutes. My arm's starting to get sore again. If Astaroth gets a nice point drop, I would consider using him for the 2 shooting litanies. Yeah, our Space Marine, our named character is going to get a point drop? That's a good question. I have no idea. Would I like them to get a point drop? Yes. Do I feel like they should... Yeah, the Space Marine point drop is a real doozy. Who knows what's going to happen? You know, like, we've talked about, like, aggressors are going to see a 33% drop. Inceptors are going to see a 33% drop, but like, what about all the other stuff that was kind of meh before, then Armor of Contempt trying to make it okay? So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season. Regardless, I guess. And I'm looking forward to the new season, and I think we're going to get some Blood Angels releases or some Space Marine releases this season. So I think that's exciting. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the new season. I'm looking forward to new rules, and hopefully I'm looking forward to maybe Marines having a 50% win rate. Is that too much to ask for? I guess we'll see, right? Patches is on fire, +1 to wound, is a good litany for shooting. The problem I find is, and I guess this is the same problem some people have with Psychic, litanies going off on 3s is unreliable in games, you know, like, and I don't know if I feel like I have enough CP as games start or go on to always be able to, like, cast commanding oratory. And I guess, like, I've been running Lamartas for a little while now. Maybe like... How many games have I run Lamartas in? Maybe like 5, 6? Something like that. And generally I like Lamartas as a character. I think he's useful. I think he can do some good damage. I like the buff he gives the Death Company. I like he scores Fury of the Lost. But his litanies are like complete hit or miss. Like, sometimes it would be huge in the game if you could get both of them to go off and neither go off. Sometimes you don't need any of them to go off and they both go off. You know, it's just so hard to rely on chaplains, and I guess that's why some people hate psychers as well, because it's hard to rely on things for psychers, and while psychers maybe have a slightly better cast chance, they can obviously be denied, and there's multiple ways people can deny stuff. So both psychers and chaplains at key times in the game can basically, the opponent can like deny them. And I mean, I guess that's why some people we see run captains and lieutenants, because typically captains and lieutenants can't be denied. I mean, they can, in that like Votan can deny rerolls of wounds, but in general they don't get denied on the same sort of level as Psychic, and they could be seen as more reliable on a similar level for like from litanies, right? Alfurious is in the house. Hello, brother. How you doing? Good evening. Due to the volume Marine players, anything above 48% must be a touch too much. I mean, is 48% a touch too much when you've got stuff like Tyranids sitting on like 56? Well, Tyranids I think have sat on like 65% for most of this edition, and now they're maybe down to like 55%. Harlequins have sat on a hugely high rate for like this whole edition, and now they're going to come down. You know, people think that Marine players just like to complain. Well, we don't. We just would like to see I don't know. I mean, I would just like to see a much better distribution, I guess. Like, none of this 45 to 55% nonsense. Like, 48 to 52 is what I'm after. Dirty Wizard has a load of Cadian Guard on the way. If rumours are true, Stephen says we might get a 50% win rate. Plan for Litany to fail, so it's just a bonus when it goes off, says Jim. I mean, that's probably the best way to look at it. It's probably the best way to look at Psychers as well, actually. I think the problem probably for me is this whole edition, or yeah, like I don't think we've been at a 50% win rate in like over a year at this point, right? So like this whole edition, it feels like we've been fighting from behind against a lot of armies. They've had the advantage on us. We've had to use all our tricks and like our superior tactics and stuff to stay in the game or be competitive or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's been tricky. It's just the way I feel about it. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the new season. I'm hoping that we see a decent amount of changes that well, one, freshen everything up, but two, give Marines a 50% win rate. That's what I want. People often ask me, like, hey Commander, what do you want? I want Marines to have a 50% win rate. I mean, as I say, other factions have had giantly more than 50%, so I'm not asking for so much. I got 5 more minutes and then I'm going to take off, guys. So if you've got any last questions, hit me with them. If not, then I'll try and get the boarding party video done tomorrow. It's tomorrow Thursday. No, tomorrow's Wednesday. I think I'm playing Darktide tomorrow night with Iron Warriors on 40%, really hoping for the same. Yeah, the Iron Warriors aren't in a great place either, sellers. I think I'm playing Darktide tomorrow night with the Grots. So if anyone wants to come and hang out with us playing Darktide, I think I'm like level 7 now? Maybe that's pushing it. Maybe I'm level 6. I don't know. We've played like 5 or 6 missions at this point. I got like a new axe and I got like a burst fire auto gun. It's pretty fun. I don't know what time we're playing yet, but it'll probably be about 9 o'clock. So if anyone wants to come and hang out, watch Tony, me, and I was going to say I've forgotten. I'm tired. Tony, me, and Mark. If anyone wants to watch us play Darktide tomorrow night, we'll be doing that, I think. It's been a blast the last couple of times we've played it, actually. Alright. Last little bit, I'm just going to tidy this up, and then I'm going to head to bed, I think. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Always helps me, like, I don't even need to worry about hobby motivation anymore. I just know that I'm going to come on here and stream and you guys are going to be here and we're going to do some hobbying. I think it's great. If anyone ever struggles with hobbying motivation, either or. If anyone ever struggles with motivation for getting their Warhammer painted or anything like that, then the thing that I say is, like, I have a pretty regular stream schedule for hobbying. I do it every week. So make your hobby time the same as mine, or I guess if you can't make it the same as mine, because you're in a different country or something, you could always plan to watch my hobby hangouts and get your hobbying done. Put it on in the background. I mean, you don't even necessarily need to pay too much attention, right? But yeah, I like having set times each week for hobbying. I think it helps me. It just means that there's no debate in my mind. There's no, am I tired enough? Am I too tired to hobby? It's just like, oh, it's time for the hobby. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. And I always find that when I sit down, that you know, stuff happens. Shit gets painted. It always happens. It always works out. No bolt gun yet. Bolt gun is basically Doom, right? The old like Doom from the 90s. Someone's making that and they've called it bolt gun, Jim. I quite fancy buying it whenever it comes out. I don't know if it's got a release date yet. But like Doom was one of the first sort of PC games I ever played, I guess. Maybe that and like, I was going to say like Warcraft 1 maybe? Dune, I think Dune 2000 and Warcraft Humans vs. Orcs was some of the first PC games I ever played. It's nice to hang out and listen to the stream while I find every single rivet on a Leviathan Dreadnought. Oh dude, I've been there, Braden. Try buying a super heavy tank and then finding all the rivets on that. That's a fun one. There must have been like... Well, there was a lot, put it that way. I do want to get another super heavy tank at some point. I just don't know if I have a date on that yet. Alright. I guess we got like a fourth colour on all these guys. So, lots to do. But, maybe we'll try and get the fifth colour on them. And I feel like with 5 colours, I feel like going to a tournament with them, I feel like I wouldn't feel too bad taking them to an event with 5 colours on them. Oh no, bolt gun and Dark Tide, no. No, not yet. I'm not high enough level. I don't actually know what level you get the bolt gun at, Jim. Do you know? Alright, that will be us for tonight. Thank you for the new members. There's new members tonight. Highland Phoenix, a member for 23 months. Highland, you superstar, thank you so much. And then Shane coming in with the super chats. I always appreciate the support, guys. It means so much to me, helps me out. I'm going to get the stream deck and I'm going to keep upgrading my stream because that's what I do now, I guess. This is like my second job and I love it. So thanks for everybody that supports me and lets me do this almost like a job. I appreciate it. I saw some dude made a Dark Tide video about the bolt gun in the game and it seems ludicrous. I want to get a bolt gun. I don't know what level I need to get to the bolt gun, but I think the bolt gun in Dark Tide is probably the bolt gun that we all wish that we had in actual 40k, like with AP and damage, I guess, and strength probably. Alright, enjoy your evening, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, if you want to watch us play Dark Tide tomorrow night, Friday, I'm going to have some live games. And then Saturday night I'll probably be back here streaming, so I'll probably catch you guys all in. By the blood, Iron Made Strong, brothers. Peace. Good night.